What's up, everyone, and welcome to Jayconomics. My name is Jay, and it's a pleasure to meet all of you. On this channel, we take a look at anything related to finance with a strong focus on investing. So if that sounds like something you want to be a part of, then please consider subscribing and liking this video to help me on my quest to befriend the big, bad YouTube algorithm. Hello and welcome back to Jayconomics. Today I have a special guest with me. He is the founder and CEO of Loop Insights. This is the ticker MTRX on the TSX Venture and ticker RACMF on the OTC markets for you Americans out there. Welcome, Rob, to the show. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Hey, thanks, Jay. Good morning, and happy to have me.
Yeah,
thanks
absolutely.
for having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. We're doing this on a Sunday morning, so thank you for clearing up some time out of your schedule. So, Rob, let's get into your journey, how you got here, and what got you started with Loop. What was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, I was just left my other company and transition and exit, and I was kind of fortunate, as you know, there's a lot of questions I get as to why the ticker symbol, the matrix. It's kind of, for me, this whole journey has been kind of like the movie. Things just kind of happen, and quite significant that the opportunities that have come. By chance, I'd met who's my co-founder, Casey Matson DeKay. He was going to school over at UVic. He's from California, so here's a 19-year-old savant whiz kid going to school up in the Great White North, as they say. And yeah, by chance I met him, and we kind of hit it off and just started talking about business and the way what the world's going and evolution and big data, and what does machine learning mean for the future. And this is going back 6-7 years now. So yeah, we said, hey, let's do this. I'll help you finish school, give you a percentage of the company, and I'll make the rest happen. You just build the technology. And we started building prototypes and line drawings and business plans, and that's really how it all started, was the napkin and beer nuts conversation, as you read about in a lot of books. And yeah, this happened to start over in Victoria.
That's so cool. Yeah, I mean, you touched on the ticker symbol there, which is matrix, and I don't know if you saw, but the first time I heard about your company was actually through a TikTok video that went viral, and this girl was saying saying that your company was a glitch in the matrix, and because of the ticker symbol, and so anyways, I was like, oh, this is whatever, this looks interesting, let me look into it. And then I did a deep dive, and I was like, okay, this is not just hype. This has a lot of substance to it. So we're going to get into that in just a bit. Loop has such a unique business model, right? In the IoT and the AI space. Loop at its core, the way I see it, is the bridge that pretty much helps helps even the playing field between the e-commerce giants and the brick and mortar retailers. So can you go into how your business operates and explain how Loop Insights is disrupting the game?
Yeah, it's a great question. Where we started, the core of the business was our IoT device, Fobi. The challenge, Jay, where I saw it is everyone, rewind here, this is, like I said, many years ago, was in the world of big data, the bottleneck it was creating. Everyone was obsessed with data aggregation, right? How do I get as much data as humanly possible? The challenge for companies like Nielsen and RRI and Numerator and other aggregators was the independent retail market, because it's all disjointed and fragmented. It all has thousands of point of sale systems. So there was no data, lake, repository, whatever you want to call it, for the independent space. So our Fobi IoT device was a simple plug and play model. Plugs into any interface, point of sale system, It takes antiquated legacy systems from edge to cloud computing. So obviously you saw where the power that was, 6 years, 7 years ago, huge deal, right? And this is kind of still the core of the business today is our ability in real time to be able to ingest data, analyze it with our artificial intelligence, and then push the down path to the end user to create data segmentation and personalization through promotions and relevant offers based upon their actual spend in the moment. Power of real time is everything, and that's really what Fobi gives us, is that as you see in some of our early integrations with point of sale companies as well, it gives us a key differentiator where the minute Fobi is plugged in, it captures 100% of every transaction. Loyalty, cash, crypto, does not matter what payment, captures all of the basket data. So all the SKUs, the items that Jay's purchasing, total spend, taxes, loyalty, everything. So it becomes very, very powerful when you start to look at the ability for us to analyze individual data sets in physical location where we started, but now, as you've seen in Maplin and others and Shopify, online. So that convergence of online, offline, real-time data aggregation becomes very, very powerful.
And people pay for those insights, if I may say.
Yeah, and that's the Loop Data Exchange that as we expand and grow. As I mentioned earlier, you get companies like Nielsen and RI that have historical data. Well, that's great, but what would you rather have, Jay? What's happening to the second, or what happened 2 months ago, right? The world is moving so fast, and Loop's ability, you'll hear this in nausea the next 6 months, I'm sure. Real time is everything. And that's our biggest differentiator, that we're providing all these massive chains, real-time insights and analytics around the operation, supply chain, inventory management, and then of course now combining loyalty. So it's puts us in a very big position, but that's where we started in the independent retail, which gives us that ability, as you see, with pharmacists and other independent marketplaces that consolidate that all into one view, which of course becomes powerful, as you're well aware of, Google and Amazon and Facebook. It's all about the user data.
Absolutely. Very cool. The global illness was a perfect bridge to accelerate what you do, what Loop does. However, I've seen plenty of people, whether it's commenting things like, what is Loop going to do after the illness is over, or, stuff like that. They just don't understand the business model or what Loop is actually about, right? So this is obviously very misguided and uninformed.
Yeah.
Now, whenever someone says this, it gets me to roll my eyes, right? Because it wouldn't take much research to kind of just disprove this.
Yeah.
That being said, I want to get the facts and the truth from the horse's mouth, aka you. So I want to get your answer on this. Why is it that Loop is seen this way, and how should investors or potential investors be valuing Loop at this time?
Yeah, they should be looking at it. Like I said, it's laziness, right?
Yeah.
It's what it is, and people, they don't understand that we built this technology with the wallet pass. As you saw us acquire Pass Creator in our announcement we made 6 weeks ago, whatever it was. Digital wallet is, I'm about transformative, disruptive solutions. And when I started to look at the impact of data around mobile payment usage, the numbers are staggering. So I believe, and thankfully I'm correct, that in the next 3 to 5 years here, you will see 90% of all transactions happen through the wallet. The digital ID that we talk about, of course, the privacy around the data being encrypted, the power of Apple and Google driving this, the Apple VAS. It's all about experience. It's all about data. And that's why I went down that path. Now, we had built this, check-in technology combining Fobi, our IoT device, with an NFC reader. And when you have that integration, layer on Apple VAS, Google VAS, you now have a one-touch payment, one-touch loyalty, one-touch personal gateway to engagements, rewards, offers, messaging. You create that omni-channel experience. Now, this had nothing to do with the pandemic, because obviously I'd love to say I knew it was coming, but simply it didn't. So when I started to look at it, it was, hey, look, we can now create a complete end-to-end user experience and venue management system as we collect timestamp of understanding that Jay checked in at, whatever, you may be at the shopping mall or somewhere. We're automating that process of check-in for contact tracing. But really, it's all about the back end side of that. Understanding where Jay goes, what brand loyalty has, what stores and relevance is he shopping online and offline. It's always about the data. So, if you see our latest video of the venue tracing with the ski hills, coincides with our big white announcement with TELUS, that's it. It's all about user experience. I mean, there's so many disjointed applications, Jay. And that's what I've done, is now build out the digital wallet that lives in everyone's phone today, right? So there's no app adoption issue. It's already there. And this is what I'm working on now for healthcare and sports and entertainment and different retail applications, is taking that now and having one unified system. So when COVID goes away, I'll probably be happier, just because of the fact that I don't have to answer this question, because the people that, well, no, it's just it's almost insulting because to your point, it's laziness, right? Don't call me and email me and ask you to explain my whole business to you. Go to our website. We've got hundreds of videos, right? Go to Discord groups like yourself and others and take 5 minutes and read. So no, it's great. Like I said, it's a transformative solution. And whether there's bracelets or other contact tracing companies, for the time being, doesn't matter. We're the interoperable gateway that connects all these different silos, from airlines to cruise lines to hotels to transportation, integrated testing and vaccination certification protocols to enable these reopenings. Simple as that. At the end of the day, what it is we're doing, we're transcending the user experience, and travel is one of our big focuses, right? So as you'll see coming up here, there's some very significant announcements around this, which, I think will open a lot of people's eyes and go, oh, wow, these guys were actually onto something. Look at that.
Yeah, the initial, obviously you guys were trading around 5 cents like not too long ago, right? And you're like at your high, I think the stock went up to like 280, 290, somewhere around there. And obviously a lot of that was warranted, but a lot of it was a lot of hype, right? People got really excited, but not really understanding the business. And so I think, I was just going to say, like, I think this consolidation right now is very healthy for the stock and for the business. It's going to, first of all, it separates the real investors from the hype investors. That's number one. And number two, you're going to create a base of strong investors and strong believers in your product and in what you're doing, in your solutions. And so,
Jay, you're exactly right. I'm on TikTok and all those different platforms as well. And I see all these kids that, oh, we send out alerts and we're up, 1,500% today, and we've all made $1 million. And those
Yeah.
things, those aren't sustainable. I mean, there's no way people can time the market, not in today's day and age with all the algo trading and whatnot. Charts and stuff, great. That raises percentages of, accuracy, of course, but no, like, there becomes FOMO, right? We had our walls at, 50 cents, 90 cents. Once we broke through that, that's where we started to see, big spikes in matter of a couple days, right? It's momentum, of course, which is needed, but all of a sudden we have all these people that come on board that have no idea they're just buying in because they've done, millions of shares, 10 million shares back to back, and we have a big following, and it is what it is. But just I'm realistic here, right? I'm not here for a day. I'm here for a long time. And when I start to look at it here, we have the ability, as we were way overbought,
Yeah.
now we're way oversold, right?
That's it.
So, there's been a nice consolidation. There's been a lot of big groups that I've been working with in the last couple months ahead of the big spike that are very happy to see this because they can accumulate more.
That's it. That's exactly my thinking. I've been accumulating during this dip, like during this, whatever you want to call it, this large dip consolidation period.
Sure.
Because, and the thing is like, I've been telling people in my Discord the same thing. I was like, listen, like, these are the times when you want to buy certain companies that you really like, when they're not, not too hyped up, when like, this is the ground floor, right? This is the base right now. And so I think there's so much upside with your company, and I've been kind of spreading that word around, and hopefully this interview will kind of shed light on that. So,
Well, I've said a lot. This isn't, a 1 day, a 5 day, 10-day hold.
Yeah, that's it.
We're just over 18 months into this thing. I'm building foundational pieces to our architecture from, of course, an engineering side, but company side. You don't have guys like Tamer leave NTT Data just on a whim of, Rob seems like a great guy. I mean, there's tremendous amount of due diligence done, and people get it, right? So, it's patience here. Like, if people give us time, we're not going to, blow up the world in the next 3 months. But I can tell you, in the next 3 to 5 years, most definitely, because our power from a data aggregation of mobile and our IoT device enables us to potentially become the largest global data aggregator. And that's extremely powerful. And that's why Amazon got involved early stages, because of the ability now to aggregate that physical space and combine that data lake with the online world. And we've had tremendous support from them from day one. And it's something that we look forward to growing over the next years, not days.
Absolutely. Conviction and patience, right? Those are the two things that you're gonna be a winner. So I'm a very strong believer into your company, and I look forward to kind of seeing that growth within the next 3 to 5 years, as you mentioned. So, Rob, you have strong partnerships with both TELUS and NTT. Can you talk a little bit about these partnerships and what they have meant to Loop so far, and the credibility that it brings to your company?
Oh, for sure. I mean, third-party validation is everything, of course, as a young company. Obviously groups like TELUS and NTT, our global scale, they just don't do deals and news announcements for the sake of something to do. So I take great pride in that. And, when you start to look at what it means, my whole model, Jay, has always been channel reseller. Much like Uber and Airbnb and Alibaba, largest organizations that don't own any assets, right?
Mhm.
That's where this is as enabling technology. It gives us the ability to remain super lean and agile, but ultimately here as we grow, extremely profitable because of less overhead, right? We don't want to be Qualcomm and have 50,000 employees all over the world. There's no need for that. Everything we've done is built on automation, from onboarding, data ingestion, structure, portal, insights, payments. Absolutely everything we've built is through automation. So groups like TELUS representing our product, as you see with Big White, those are the kind of deals that they bring, right? I mean, we have a lot of deals in the pipeline that with each of those groups right now at the moment. They take a little bit longer because they're, trophy hunting expeditions, as I say, but having them driving the force and us sitting there supporting it, those doors are very tough to open. And as people will see here in the next 3, 6, 9 months, the impact of it's very significant.
Very nice. I love the fact that you've integrated Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin into contactless payments. So I have two questions about this right now. So one of them, let's
Yeah.
just start off with a little bit of a fun question here. What is your personal view on cryptocurrency as a whole? And what is your favorite coin?
Yeah, that's interesting. When we started to look at this back in 2017, um, I think we're at 80 Bitcoin, 8,400 bucks
Mhm.
was kind of the, first spike that we went, oh wow, this is great, almost 10,000.
Yeah.
That was interesting to me. And as I said, when I start to look at the digital wallet and what, Apple at the time just sunk $1 billion into their Apple VAS, and Google came along and spent even more. That's what kind of opened my eyes and went, wow, our technology is all agnostic, right? So it doesn't matter, as we said, what point of sale system for the IoT device we're in, or what user interface that someone has Android or Apple. Everything I've always built, Jay, is to be agnostic. We can plug into anything, right? So that's when we started to look at, crypto or digital currencies, tokens. Our Fobi device enables all of these locations to be able to transact that. Now we can bolt to any exchange there is, which will open up tremendous opportunities here for various international growth, as we'll see here in the next few months. But that's kind of where it started from was, how do we solve the problem of daily liquidity in physical, worlds? And that's exactly what we filed for back then as part of our patent applications. And it's something that I'm very bullish on. People, they're just starting to understand blockchain. I mean, when we started to look at our, blockchain development years ago, that's what people looked at and went, oh, wow, this is Bitcoin. No. Blockchain is a complete
Blockchain.
separate technology. And
That's it.
it's nice that people are starting to, understand and appreciate that. And as we're seeing all of the, I'm Bitcoin is a good one for me. Casey, my co-founder, started buying back at $2. When he first started telling me about it, I had no idea what he's talking about.
Mhm.
So I kind of jumped on that with him, and Ripple and other ones that back then, Ethereum, as we said, back at 200. So some, happy to see where things were there. But no, it's right now it's a very exciting time, Jay, because the transformation that we're going to see in the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, you look at all the, the recycling energy stocks and the batteries and stuff, and evolution of the vehicles now, digital wallets, digital currency, blockchain, data security, all of these things set up so well for us, right? And that's, like I said, I'm excited about it. It's not today, it's where are we in the next 18 months that all I care about. And we're positioned extremely well across many different facets of business. There's some pretty exciting things that we're working on at moment that kind of tie all those worlds together. So it's going to be a very exciting next 18 months.
Yeah, that's, I think that's a good point. Like you're kind of the middleman, like you have integrations into all these different spaces. So I think that's why it's so exciting as an investor and as someone who has followed your company along, like, and seeing these different links, it's all coming together and tying together. In terms of my second question was just in terms of other coins that you may potentially add, like say Cardano, is that maybe in the plans in the future or?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as I said, we're not restricted to anything, Jay.
Yeah.
So ultimately, as things evolve and, other coins or tokens come along, there's an opportunity in Korea that we're pursuing, from a government standpoint, where they're looking at, tokens for payment loyalty. So it gets really interesting when you start to look at the different mindsets now of various governments. I'm sure Canada will follow along one day. We seem to be very good at that, following trends years later. Yeah. So,
yeah, absolutely.
No, but it's true. There's no stopping it. I mean, there's absolutely no stopping it. And I'm a huge believer and investor in it. And, for us, it's like I said, we're that connective tissue that powers up the ability to transact that in markets and verticals and industries that make it possible without any external hardware. So the ability to eliminate the friction, if they will, is always key. And that's what we provide.
Very cool. So let's talk about your 2 pilot agreements that happened in the last month or so. So the first of which was with Pharmacist, where it gave you the chance to put your tech into 12,000 pharmacies in the UK. Can you give us a progress update on this one?
Yeah, things are very well. Everything was shipped, onboarded. Now they're utilizing all of the power of our insights platform. And we're going to be doing some WebExes coming up too, Jay, in the next bit, because to your point, we have multiple different technologies, right? So, people look at it, the website, they look at our deck and, they hear me ramble on, but it's very hard to connect all the dots. So we're going to be hosting in the next 4 to 6 weeks, multiple different product WebExes, and then include also some of our partners that you see like Cabin and Dragonfly and others of what does that look like from an integrated tech standpoint, right? Here's what all the magic looks like when it sits on our platform. There's some pretty cool stuff. So yeah, that'll be, I think, very helpful for a lot of your viewers and others as we move forward.
Very cool. And the second partnership, agreement was with Maplin. So can you kind of discuss a little more about this one, as this one was?
Yeah, for sure. No, Maplin it's a very exciting one for me because there's no Fobi, there's nothing. This is pure AI data capabilities of which we possess. And we onboarded Maplin almost overnight, right? As I said, with the power of automation that we've built, we're set for rapid scale because we have the ability to ingest billions of records on a daily basis. So as we said, I'm building infrastructure and support here. This is key foundation for us to be able to scale. This is a true e-commerce play. They went through a big transition from the challenges of struggles in bricks and mortar and profitability. They restructured and have gone now all 100% e-commerce. So as you see here, we've integrated now our Shopify components, which we're set for some pretty big things coming up here in the next bit. as well as, of course, continuing with Vend now that the Christmas blitz is over. We're ramping up our sales and just finished all of our marketing and sales training for all their teams as well. So it's Maplin is something that very, very much excited me because it's pure e-commerce. And obviously we're going to see big consolidation and transition as businesses reopen and evolve, just like Maplin, shutting down physical stores to go 100% mobile and e-com.
What do you expect is going to come from this in terms of, you know, how, when businesses start to reopen, like what do you expect is going to happen? What's your expectations?
Well, yeah, I mean, to me, that's why the mobile component of what we've built is so compelling, because just that, I mean, I can go and order a pair of shoes in 20 seconds by asking Alexa, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is just, no, but this is it. Everything, this is why I said earlier, Jay, the power of real-time data capabilities that Fobi and Loop possess will become extremely, extremely powerful, because it enables all of these experiences, one, but really at the end of the day, it's just that, you and I are out for, a beer after work, right? We know where you live. We know what you typically buy through your phone. We see you're running late. Would you like some flowers sent to your wife? They'll arrive 2 minutes after your expected, time. All of these different things stem from the mobile capabilities, and that's where I see it. It's going to be all about speed and convenience and personalization, and that's where real-time data applications are key. That's where I see it. I think bricks and mortar is always going to be there, of course. That's one of the things that people misconception is, oh, everything's now online. There's still 86.8% of all transactions happen in store, right? So think about all the funds, pension groups that have commercial investment. They've taken a beating. They need to protect their asset, right? So, we are the perfect property tech play there is, right? Because we enable all this connectivity. We enable, new line revenue opportunity by giving CPG brands access to consumer, and operational efficiencies, and providing tools like Loop. This is what groups are reaching out now. Some of the largest developers, just because of that. It's a differentiator to, hey, Jay, come to our mall because look what we have, right? Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of forward thought thinking that groups are doing, which is very exciting to see.
Very cool. Well said. This is a question that I have because it's been on everyone's mind, and it's been in my Discord, and it's, kind of the narrative around, right? When will the financials be out, and do you plan on releasing them quarterly anytime soon? Is there, what's in the pipeline?
Yeah, so this is one that I laugh at, because all this stuff's public. I mean, we have a June 30th year end. Yeah. Our financials come out every 3 months. Mm-hmm. So we've never filed late. No. So it's kind of funny to me. So ours will be out at the end of February, and then do the math. It's all there. Like I said, there's nothing hugely exciting we've done to date, but as we start to move forward here at the end of the month and quarters to come, then yeah, it's going to get really interesting. And that's what I appreciate in our long-term investors. People are for hit and runs. That's great. I appreciate that, right? But like I said, long-term growth and quarter after quarter here coming up is what I look for, right? So we've got great following now. We've got great execution coming. So I'm pretty excited about where we end up here, as I said, in the next 18 months.
Great. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly touch on that because I know it's something people are wondering about, but I'm totally on the same
Yeah,
page as you on it. So
yeah, it's
just
just
wanted to,
funny to me because I said all this
yeah,
stuff's available online, right?
yeah, mm,
You know,
absolutely. So Rob, last question. I think, for me, transparency and realistic expectations from a company or from a CEO are key for any investor. Can you
Mm.
give our viewers today an idea of what to expect for 2021 and what are you most excited about?
Well, it's yeah. What I'm most excited about now is we've set the table with some key partnerships. Which really for us is the foundation. The tech is all commercialized. We've got multiple different tech stacks that are being deployed globally now. So I think my excitement comes from now when we start to look at doors and flags on the map as to numbers that will be out there by the end of the year. Execution growth is what I'm excited about. We will be doing forecast as part of one of our WebEx coming up here, Jay, to talk about the year ahead, which will be great. Yeah, so I think, like I said, this year is just for us, it's all about execution and focus. I'm very, very driven and focused on what we're trying to achieve. And I try to keep the blinders on and let the noise be the noise and do my
That's
thing.
it. That's it. And that's what I like to hear. I mean, it's fine and dandy to be flashy. It's fine and dandy to, try and get the story out there. Sure, fine. But at the same time, like if you have a leader of a company that's more focused on that than actually doing the work and uh, getting their paws dirty, for a lack of better expression, like that's not a good
Yeah,
thing, right? So yeah, I mean
no.
that's I'm sure that's a reassuring thing to hear as
Well,
a
yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm not a fancy guy. I'm
yeah.
just a hard worker.
What? I thought
Um,
you
you
look
know,
so fancy up in that nice shirt. You got the nice painting behind you.
yeah, right. No, I mean, for me is I have a lot of great shareholders. I have a lot of great advisors,
Yeah,
um, great board of directors, and great support. And that's what I focus on: positivity, right?
yeah,
Um, I can't control the market. All I can control is the team and the business, and it's really all I care about right now is just building the business. The numbers will take care of themselves over time. And like I said, it's a real business. I mean, I'm not building a story, I'm building a business. And, I apologize if it doesn't happen as quick as everyone likes in 7 days. But, you know, it's, um, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
yeah. Agreed. 100%. Well said. So, Rob, that's it for my questions. Any final words or any final thoughts?
No, thanks for having me, Jay. I appreciate it. Some great questions. Happy to do this again anytime you like. But patience and positivity always wins. And I think
Agreed.
it's something to, shareholders to remember is Rome wasn't built in a day, and go do some due diligence on Google, Apple, Facebook, and Amazon. Uh, we're in a good spot for 18 months. Like I said, it's, at the end of 2021. For a lot of reasons, it's going to be very interesting. Hopefully we can put COVID some point in the rearview mirror, as they say. And I'm pretty excited and pretty positive on the transformation and what we're about to see in the world. COVID has forced digital transformation, why we've become so relevant with our products. And it's going to be very exciting to see where they are in the next 5 years. It's going to be pretty crazy.
I agree. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where things go. I mean, I kind of have a very good idea where things are going, but it's going to be nice to see it play out. So, Rob, yeah, thanks again for joining
Yeah,
us. It was great talking to you. Great to kind of get your view on everything. And again, yeah, if you want to come back on, just let me know. I'm
Sure.
sure everybody's going to be thrilled to see you again. And yeah, just keep putting your head down. You got this.
Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. You have a great
uh,
day today.
you as well. All right. Take care, Rob.
All right.